their space here available, and our partners on many things. Also, the Kellogg Foundation for making the issue of the magazine and this event possible. We're going to be talking today with a very distinguished panel of writers and experts on one of the most fundamental issues in American history and American politics, and one that gets talked about much less than it should, and that is race in America. A few days ago, President Barack Obama put his hand on the Lincoln and Martin Luther King Bibles and took the oath of office almost exactly 150 years since the Emancipation Proclamation went into effect. And in his inaugural speech, he talked movingly about this country's historic and continuing march for greater freedom. So given the tremendous importance of this moment, we at the Washington Monthly thought it appropriate to devote this issue of the magazine to the subjects of race, history, and the conditions of minorities in America today. For while it's true that President Obama, as measured by his November vote totals, retains overwhelmingly the support of Americans of color, up until this moment, neither he nor the country has, in fact, talked much about race. In fact, President Obama mentioned race fewer times in his first 2 years in office than any Democratic president since 1961. When he did, in fact, talk about race, it often provoked a fierce backlash, as when he said last year that if he had a son, he would look like Trayvon Martin, the young man who was killed tragically in Florida. A tremendous backlash against that, and he went silent again, for the most part, on issues of race. So despite the civil rights symbolism of the inauguration, there has been generally a politically imposed cone of silence around this president and around the country, making it all the more difficult for our nation to acknowledge and confront discrimination in our society. And if you think such things do not exist, I invite you to remember the 8-hour lines at polling stations in Ohio and Florida this past November. It also makes it hard for the country to have an honest conversation about the many realms of American life in which minorities suffer disproportionately, even if overt discrimination isn't the driving force. Nearly all Americans lost significant wealth in the Great Depression, or the Great Recession, but as a percentage of income, blacks and Hispanics lost far more. Modern health scourges like obesity and diabetes have hit all of America hard, but African Americans much harder. Our China-like rates of incarceration are slowly beginning to trouble the consciences of the opinion-making class, but they have long been a devastating reality in the lives of black families, where every third father or son is, has been, or someday will be behind bars, according to statistics. So today we're going to do something that doesn't much happen in Washington. We're going to talk frankly about questions of race. Where is America now, a century and a half after Lincoln signed that celebrated document, the Emancipation Proclamation?